Good morning and welcome to day 16 of my 30-day morning yoga challenge. This is the vlog where I talk about today's theme and connect it to yamas and niyamas, as well as also bring it home to those of us who identify as queer or neurodiverse. Before we get into it, if you could go ahead and click the like and subscribe button down in the bottom below, I would really appreciate it. It helps expand my reach and connects me to people who need to find me, and vice versa. Oh, and also the coordinated yoga practice will be linked in the description below. So now let's get into it. So today's theme is uplift. Now, why did I choose this theme? It's because I thought there was 3 excellent aspects that we could discuss today. There's the physical uplift, the actual body lifting up into heart openers, lifting the hips up into downward facing dog. But there's also a relational and emotional component that goes along with uplifting. We want to uplift our spirits, which yoga helps to soothe the central nervous system and just generally reduce our feelings of depression and anxiety. And when we're connecting with others, we want to be lifting others up and connecting them with them in a way that helps boost their own ideas and their own spirits and their own capabilities. So I felt like uplift was a great way to continue with our sun salutation and enjoying that up dog and that downward facing dog where we really lift the hips up into the air, as well as connecting that mind, body, spirit that we're constantly talking about when we're doing our centering. A yama and niyama that came to mind is first the yama of sateya, which is non-stealing. When we're lifting others up, when we're lifting ourselves up, we want to make sure that we are being focused in a way that we aren't taking time, energy, ideas away from ourselves or others. We want to be conducting ourselves in a way that is honoring our own efforts, our own time, our own energy. And then the niyama that comes to mind is, again, saucha. I feel like that's something that I really got to pay attention to for myself because it keeps coming up for me. And again, saucha is that niyama, the concept of acting in pure, clear, clean ways in our physical, mental, and even social relational areas. And as neurodiverse folks, as queer folks, we need to make sure that we aren't stealing our own time and energy when we're needing to defend ourselves, defend accommodations that should be made, defend our right to love who we want to love. And that does take a toll. And again, that's why yoga is so important for a lot of us, is because it does cool and soothe our central nervous system and helps alleviate that stealing energy that comes out of some of our everyday interactions. And again, the yoga practice helps us to connect with our breath. It helps to slow us down. It helps us to be calm in the moment. And it helps us to recognize that we're not in competition with each other. When we have ideas that we want to share, others' ideas are just as valid. I'm going to put a caveat on that, unless those other ideas are actively harming someone else. Those are not the same thing. I am talking about if you are working on a project and there are 2 competing ideas, you can take elements of those 2 ideas and merge them into one better concept. Or don't merge the ideas. The point I'm trying to make here is to listen to each other, have a meaningful conversation, and then respectfully come to a conclusion that is best for that situation. I'm definitely not talking about any of the negative isms out there. So I want to be clear on that. And one of my roles that I do in my everyday life is I am a volunteer crisis counselor, and I'm also working towards my master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. And one of the things that we learn is that we want to sit with others in their moment, in their space, and what they're experiencing. And that is connecting to the niyama, the internal ethics of removing our own ego, taking a moment to just sit with that person as they are, purely, So that ties us into saucha. And we need to be able to sit with our own selves as neurodiverse and queer folks to understand, you know, who we are and accept who we are as is. And when we can do that, then we aren't stealing our own energy. We aren't cluttering our mind with negative thoughts and self perceptions, but we're able to leave those out and uplift ourselves and enjoy life more fully. I saw a really fantastic t-shirt the other day that it said, "Don't hear what I didn't say." And that's the point I'm trying to make here, is with that concept of saucha, we do not want to hear what other people aren't saying. We want to sit with them in the moment. In counseling, we have a technique called reflection where we go back and say, okay, I'm not quite understanding, but this is what I'm hearing. How accurate am I understanding you right now? And that's really what we need a lot more of, just in general in our interactions, so that we can purely understand each other from their own perspective and from what they're trying to communicate and convey. If more people were able to just take a step back and accept people for who they are, we would have a much more calmer community and society as a whole in the US. And I know that's really hard in the moment. It is hard to recognize your own cognitive distortions. It is hard when there are people out there who are actively working against you. Like, we are seeing that. That's why you'll see on my channel that I also have an advocacy and activism channel, not channel, but playlist. I do upload things. I am an active member of Indivisible. I do call my representatives. I do keep an eye on queer and mental health issues, and want to make sure that my representatives and my senators know what my stance is, so that I can help broaden my reach there and protect others in my communities. So I'm sorry for the sound quality today, guys. I think it's just has to do with all the wind that's coming through. I don't know what's going on. We'll just say it's Mercury in retrograde and move forward. So I'm going to leave this here for today. I think we had a really great conversation. I want you to let me know in the comments below, what strategies do you employ to help uplift yourself when you're down, or uplift others? I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you on the mat tomorrow.